We're going to start this class lying flat on our backs. Hi Sue, hi Polly, hi Sarah, Helen, Claire, Angela, Christine and Irene. Lovely. Lovely to see you all. It's also really lovely just to lie flat on our backs. It'll take a little bit of time to arrive. And by that, I mean really commit your body to the earth. So you feel the whole of the back of the body in contact with the floor beneath you. Feel the weight of your feet, your legs, your buttocks, the back of your ribs, your shoulders, your arms and your hands, and the weight of your head, whole of the body in contact with the floor. And notice your breath. And having a little bit of a check-in with how you're feeling this evening. Taking time to set yourself an intention if you'd like to, a sankalpa, particular focus that you can come back to. And if you'd like to make sure that your legs are together so that your ankles are touching, and then interlace your hands over your chest. And draw your toes towards you with your heels just pushing gently away. So it's a sense of all of the legs engaged. And take a breath in, and on the breath out, take the palms of your hands towards the ceiling. Lovely. Then take another breath in here. And as you breathe out, take your arms behind your head to the floor. And take a few breaths. Last week we did this standing. This week we're doing it horizontal. Take a few breaths where you really extend out through your feet towards the end of your mat and beyond, at the same time as extending out through the palms of your hands. And what we're looking for here is as much length in the spine as possible and length in the side body. Take a few breaths, reaching, lengthening. Take one more full breath in. And then as you breathe out, release your hands. You can take your legs a little bit wider apart. So your arms are relaxed over your head. And bringing your attention to your right arm and your left leg. And we're going to reach behind us with the right arm as we reach forwards with the left heel. So we have a sense of a diagonal movement across the body. Just feeling what this does to your pelvis, what it does to the right shoulder. Take a breath in and then release. Relax for a moment. We'll do that on the other side. So left arm reaches, 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 right heel reaches, reaches, reaches. Breathing here. Take a full breath in and then release. And can you take a few rounds moving from side to side quite quickly? Take one side and release, the other side and release. And just notice what's happening with the pelvis and the shoulders as you do this. strange diagonal attention across the body. Fantastic. And then release. Just notice how you feel. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to do the same side. So reach through the right hand, reach through the right heel. So you might feel the right side of the body lengthening and the left side of the body slightly shorter. And then we can release on the right and move to the left. And then keep going, moving from side to side as if you're climbing, but you never really move anywhere. Just notice what space this creates in the body, what sensation. Nice slidey feeling on the mat. And then let the whole body go. Bring your arms by your sides and come back to simply lying here. And then bringing your knees in towards you. Have a little circle with your knees, circling over the lower back. Nice massage in one direction. And then in the other direction. And then taking your fingers behind your knees and either rolling over to one side or rolling up and down the spine, head to tail. Until you meet me kneeling. And if kneeling is not possible for you, you can come into any seated position for this at all, including sitting on a chair. All I want is for your spine to be upright. Lovely. And on the next breath in, lift your arms out. Really feel your chest opening. And as you exhale, push your arms and hands in front of you and scoop the front body, back of the ribs pushing behind you. And then breathe in, open out wide, as if you're opening your wings. And breathe out, bring your forearms together, back of the ribs behind you. Breathing in, open out wide. And as you breathe out, come down to the right, little side stretch here. Lovely. Breathing in, take your left arm behind you. Really feel the left shoulder blade. And as you breathe out, sweep that left arm under the right, as far as you can go. And then breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, hand comes down. Lovely. Breathing in, lift. And breathe out, sweep forwards, push the back of your ribs behind you. Lovely. Breathe in, open your wings, squeeze the shoulder blades. And breathe out, forearms together, scoop the front body in. Breathe in, open wide. And breathe out, come over to the left this time. Breathing in, right arm behind you. Follow your fingers with your eyes. And breathe out, sweep the arm under. Breathing in, lift. And breathe out, hand down. We're going to do this again. Breathe in, arms up. A little bit of extension of the spine, back bend. Breathe out, scoop, hands come forwards. Breathe in, open your wings, squeeze the shoulder blades. Breathe out, forearms together, ribs behind you. Breathe in, open. And breathe out, come down to the right. Breathe in, left arm behind you. Follow with your eyes. And breathe out, sweep under. Breathing in, lift. And breathe out, hand comes down. Breathing in, arms up, sweeping movement. And breathe out, sweep forwards and scoop. Breathe in, open your wings. And breathe out, forearms together, scoop. Breathe in, open. And then breathing out, come over to the left. Lovely. Breathe in, right arm behind you. Sweep it under with the exhalation. Breathing in, lift. And breathe out, hand comes down. Last time to each side. Breathing in. Breathing out forwards. Open your wings. Forearms together. Open out. And come over to the right. Breathe out. Lovely. Right, left arm comes behind you. And sweep it under. Breathing in, lift. And breathe out, hand comes down. Beautiful. Breathing in, both arms lift. And sweep forwards. Open your wings. Forearms together. Open out wide. And come over to the left. Left arm behind. And then sweep it through. Breathing in, arm comes up. And then release. And take a couple of moments here to simply feel the body. You might like to roll your shoulders. And what I'm hoping is that you feel a brightness around the chest, the shoulders, the back of the ribs. And if you'd like to bring your hands down to the floor and curl your toes under. So if you've not been on your knees, now would be the time. We're going to be coming into downward dog in a minute, but we're just having a little bit of a toe stretch here. So we've had a lot of activity in the upper body. And can you now come into stillness in your shoulders, your arms, your wrists? Your head is completely hanging between your arms, neck totally relaxed. When you're ready, begin to take your heels towards the floor as your bottom lifts. There's no hurry to unfold the legs. And as soon as you're up, I want you to come back down again. And in your own time, take a few rounds, resting in child's pose if you need to. And we're looking for length in the spine, releasing from the pelvis. But this way of coming into downward dog also strengthens the legs. We're not pushing into the hands, all the weight goes into the legs. And of course, we're gradually saying hello to our hamstrings. Next time you're in a downward dog, you could stay here now and take a few breaths, freestyle, doing whatever you need. Doesn't matter how much you move. Breathing. And then looking in between your hands, walking your feet forwards. And just for a moment, release the spine out of the pelvis, just dropping Your knees could either be bent or your legs straight as you hang and dangle in Uttanasana, forward fold. And breathe. And then fingers either on the floor or on your shins. Take a breath in and lift the chest. We're looking for a long spine, remember. And breathe out, stay here, rolling the shoulder away from the ears. Take another breath in for length. And then breathe out, fold, navel coming right into the spine. And then pressing into your feet. Breathing in, come all the way up. And on the breath out, hands to your heart. Take a moment to feel the body. Take your arms down by your sides. So for this next part, your feet could either be together like mine, or you could take them a little wider apart. Lifting the left arm up on a breath in. And breathe out, come over to the right, sliding your right hand down the right leg. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out, arm comes down. Breathing in, right arm comes up. And slide your way down to the left, feeling into the side body. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out, release. And take a few rounds in your own time. We're really trying to feel the side of the ribs, the waist, the side of the hip. And this also helps the breath into that lung of the side of the body that's being extended. Lateral flexion of the spine. Let's just take one more to each side. Wonderful. Meeting with our arms by our sides. If you're able to and comfortable with this, interlace your hands behind your back. That's not going to happen. You could hold on to your elbows. So if your hands are interlaced, just shimmy them up the spine as far as they'll go. And this will help you release the shoulders. You can roll them back, and from there, extend the arms. Nice opening across the front of the shoulders and the chest. And a real sense of squeezing between the shoulder blades. My knees are bent. Take a breath in, opening the chest a bit more. And then breathing out, come forward. So if this is too much for your shoulders, just take it as a forward fold without the arms. Breathing in, bring yourself up, press into the feet. And breathing out, come forwards again. One more time, breathing in. Come all the way up. And breathing out, come down. Breathing in, come all the way up. And release your hands. You might like to circle into the wrists, circle into the shoulders. And then meet me standing at the front of your mat. On a breath in, lift up. And breathe out, come down. Breathing in, coming up halfway. And then step back to plank. And take a breath in your plank. And then another one. Take 2 or 3 breaths, finding your strength. Trying not to drop the hips or lift them too high. Take another breath in. And then everybody drop the knees and roll very gently down over the front of the body until your forehead is on the mat. Lifting your hands about 5 centimeters off the mat. Breathe and peel your chest and your head up. And breathe out, come down. Breathe in, peel up. And breathe out, come down. Last time, breathe in, peel up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then drop your palms to the mat. And maybe from here you roll your shoulders back and you come into slightly more of a bendy Bhujangasana cobra, but never straining. Take a breath in, breathe out, come down. Curl your toes under. Breathe into all fours and we meet for 5 breaths, downward dog. Looking for that stillness in the shoulders and the arms. As we encourage the weight down the legs to the heels. Looking in between your hands, step, walk or jump your feet forwards. And inhale to that flat back, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. And exhale, come all the way forwards and down. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Stay very present with the breath. Breathing in, flat back. And step or jump your way to plank. And let's breathe here again, drawing the front body into the back body. If this is too much for you, drop your knees. Really push your heels away. Imagine you're gripping a brick between your thighs. Take another breath in and then drop your knees and then your chest and your chin, feeling that squeeze between your shoulder blades. And we're going to take 3 breaths in this pose, Ashtangasana. The bottom really sticking up into the air. And feeling the curve of the neck, the curve of the lower spine, the curve behind your knees and your ankles. And then breathe in, slide your knees away, chest comes forwards. Breathe out here. And then roll your shoulders up and back to peel the chest up, head comes last. And breathe out, come down. This class is really a lot about the spine. All yoga is, but there's a lot of emphasis on moving the spine in all different directions. I've come back to a downward dog for 5 breaths. When we work on the spine, when we create a little bit more breathing space between the vertebrae, by lengthening, by extending, by flexing, by lateral flexion, we can end up feeling very spacious in the body. We walk tall. It's a lovely axis to work on. And then also notice what happens with the pelvis and the shoulders as we do that. Looking in between your hands, walk, step or jump your feet forwards. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold completely. Inhaling, come all the way up. Try not to be mechanical with these movements, but feel every millimeter moved with the breath. We're going to take one more sun salutation, A variation, breathing in. And breathe out, fold. Breathing into flat back. And then step or jump your way to plank. 5 breaths or 3 breaths, or drop your knees. So you could come down one of the ways we came down before, where we drop the knees, but some of you might have enough upper body strength to come down halfway so that your upper arms are parallel with the floor, and you hover for a moment and then drop. And we're going to come onto an upward dog now. You roll the shoulders back, but you push into your hands to lift the knees off the floor, but then drop the pelvis. Take a breath in, keep dropping the pelvis. And curl your toes under if possible, and from here, come all the way back. 5 breaths, downward dog. Breathe. Feel the length from your hip creases to your armpits, side body length. And then looking in between your hands, walk, step or jump your feet forwards. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold completely. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale. Your hands down. Take a moment to feel the body, notice the breath. Importantly, notice your degree of focus. How present are you? Breathing in, lift your arms up. And breathe out, sit back in your chair, Utkatasana. Again, long in the side body, breathe in. And breathe out, fold completely. Take a breath in to flat back. And as you breathe out, step your right leg behind you. And just look that you're not walking a tightrope. And your right foot is at about 45 degrees. And interlace your hands on your lower back here, if that's available to you. If it's not, it's fine to come up without this. And from the firm foundation of your feet, come all the way up. Rolling the shoulders back, draw your hands down past the tailbone. And breathe out, cascade down inside the left knee. Humble warrior. And take 3 breaths here, really strong in the back leg. Really strong in the back leg. Take a full breath in. And then releasing your hands to your lower back and then around the front foot. Bring that front foot back into a plank. Take a breath in here and choose your way down to the mat. You've had all 3 options. Choose your back bend. Downward dog. And from the downward dog, look forwards and step your feet between your hands. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhale, sit back in your chair, Utkatasana. Inhale, arms up by your ears. And exhale, push through your feet to standing. Well done. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair. Take a full breath in. And exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, take your left leg behind you, finding that same alignment so you're not walking a tightrope. Really commit your feet to the ground here as you take your hands over your lower back. Inhale, come all the way up. You're sliding your hands down past the tailbone. And exhale, cascade down inside that front knee. 3 breaths here. Take a full breath in. Gently release your hands first to the lower back, then around the front foot. Slide the front foot to plank. Take a breath in and then choose your way down to the mat. Choose your back bend. And come and take either 5 breaths in a downward dog, or you might find you want to rest in child. Probably feeling quite a lot of heat in the body now. Looking in between your hands and walk, step or jump your feet forwards. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, sit back in your chair. Inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, let's all meet standing. Maybe one hand across the chest, one hand across the belly. Just taking a few breaths to settle and to really feel the earth beneath your feet. So we've increased the speed of our circulation just now. It's quite energizing, quite warming. On a breath in, lift both arms up. And as you breathe out, come down halfway, really reaching through your hands. If you wanted to, you could interlace your hands like you did before on your back. Any lower back pain, you bend the knees, obviously. Take a breath in and we find that length. And then we come all the way down, forward fold. Now, it may be that your hands are on your legs. But if you're able to have straight legs with your fingers on the floor, you could take your thumbs on top of the big toes and take the forefinger and middle finger underneath the toes. And you draw your elbows out to the side. Just for a moment, come up halfway. And then exhale with mindful attention to the breath. Come all the way down. Bringing your navel into the spine and up under the ribs. Pressing your big toe into the fingers. Breathe here. As I said, any lower back pain, keep the knees bent. That's absolutely fine. On the next breath in, look up halfway. And breathe out, release your hands. Hands to your hips. And pushing into your feet, strong legs, strong core, come up on an inhale. So we're going to do another forward fold variation. You could either do the one you did already, or follow me to go into the slightly deeper variation. Inhale, come up. And this time we'll come all the way down in one breath, exhale. Inhale, come up halfway. And this time, if you can, take your palms under your feet so that your toes are pressing into the heels of your hands. This gives a lovely stretch to the upper back, the mid back. But any of the other variations are fine. And we breathe here. Lifting the sitting bones up if your legs are straight. Navel in towards the spine. Looking really good. Make it about the breath as well. One more full breath in and a long breath out. Then releasing your hands Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to your hips. Strong legs, strong core. Inhale, come all the way up. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling. We'll come into a balance now. I'd like you to really assess the connection between your left foot and the floor. And this leg needs to be strong because it's going to hold all of our weight. And then lift the right knee into the hand. So we're just going to assess here, how does the balance feel? Are you relaxed in the shoulders? Are you breathing? Can you draw the right hip back? You could stay here. Second variation is to take hold of your big toe and bring your heel into the groin. And what we're doing here is opening a little bit in the right hip. You might want to stay here, or taking the right buttock back a little bit, the right hip back a bit. Then maybe you extend that right leg, pushing through the heel. And really encourage the right shoulder back, the right hip back, so that you can lift up with a straight spine, bright chest. Take a full breath in, and then let go of the leg and allow it to hover here. Really great for core strengthening. Take a full breath in, and then release the foot down. You might need to shake out that left foot and ankle. And then we really commit the right foot and leg, nice and strong. And bring the left knee into the hand. And this may be where you want to stay. That left shoulder, left hip drawing back, left buttock drawing back. You might take hold of the big toe, drawing that left hip open, buttock behind you. You might then straighten that leg. Breathe. Keeping your eyes softly placed in one spot ahead of you. Breathe. Take a full breath in, and then release the leg. Keep it there as you take a couple of breaths. And then release the left foot down. You can release any tension in the right foot and ankle. So brilliant. If you felt that your feet and ankles were quivering, that is because the muscles, all the tiny muscles in the feet and ankles are working. And that's what we're looking for. Let's take a little flap from side to side. Okay, we're going to come to Vrksasana tree pose. So this is a standing balance where we emphatically open the hips. I'm taking the right hip open, right knee out. You could do this against a wall, partly for balance, but also as a barometer, as a guide, if you like, to see if your shoulders and pelvis are stable. And then come up as high as you like. And really press the foot and the inside of the leg in towards each other. Maybe you lift your arms up. And the emphasis tonight on this is on that right hip opening. And are you bringing the length of the side body, the length of the spine into your tree? Are you gritting your teeth, or are you relaxed in the jaw and face? Take a full breath in. Release the arms, exhale. Lift the right knee, inhale. And exhale, foot comes down. Lovely. Let's open out the left hip as we really plant down through the right foot. And bring that left foot as high up the leg as you want. Pressing the foot and the leg in towards each other. Taking your arms up if you want to. And breathe. Take a full breath in and release your arms on the exhale. Lifting the left knee up, inhale. And exhale, place your foot down. We'll have a little flap. We're going to do one more balance, and it isn't going to be a balance that everybody's going to want to do because it will depend on how you feel in your knees and opening in the hips. Some of you might want to do tree again, or you might have had enough balancing. You can rest this out. I have to confess that I can't remember the name in Sanskrit of this pose, but I'm sure one of you or two of you there who are used to an Ashtanga practice will know it. So we're going to bring the right foot into both hands, right up into the crease of the left hip here, holding the foot with the left hand, at least to begin with. And it may be that this is where you stay, and that's fine. We really need this right hip open. And you sweep your right hand behind you and either hold on to your forearm here, or maybe some of you hold on to the big toe. If you are holding on to the big toe, you could come down in a forward fold. And breathe. And then we gently come up if you have folded forwards, except I'm going to fall over. No, I'm not. And then gently release out of the pose. Challenging pose. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's take that to the other side in your variation or rest. You're bringing the left foot up into the very crease of the right hip. Sweep the left arm behind you, either to hold the wrist, the forearm, or if you're lucky, the toe. I'm not really managing. And this maybe is where you stay. They do say that you shouldn't come forwards unless you're holding the toe, but I'm going to come down anyway. Because I really like the opening this gives me in the hip of the raised leg. So it's half Padmasana, it's half lotus pose in a standing balance, quite a complex pose. Gently come up in your own time. And release. A moment to feel the body. Have a little shake, whatever you want to do, a little flap. And it's quite nice to stand without moving, maybe with our eyes closed, to simply take stock rather than rush from pose to pose. Notice how you're feeling now. And then if you'd like to face the long end of your mat and jump your feet about 1 meter apart. Take the right foot out. Again, you could be doing this against a wall. It's Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Legs are strong. Reach to the right. So we find all that length to the right and hinge when you're ready. So the point of this is not to come down with the right hand as far as possible. You're not trying to come down into a forward fold. I'd much rather you were up here and getting the lateral stretch. You could even take the left arm behind you, reaching for the top of the right thigh. So to encourage this rolling back of the left shoulder. From here, if it's right for you, lift your left arm. And really feel that left shoulder blade. And breathe. Variation of this is to bring the arm over your ear. I love doing this. It gives more of an opening along the side body. See if it works for you. Take one more breath in. Exhale, look down, hand to the hip. Bend into that right knee. And inhale, come all the way up. Let's take the pose to the left foot out, right foot in a little bit, legs are strong. Let's start now with the right arm behind us. It really helps not to drop that right shoulder forwards, and then reach to the left. We find length and then hinge. Roll that right shoulder back, and it may be you stay with the arm behind you or the arm lifts. Legs are working. And can you feel the expansion in this pose in the whole body from the floor up? Fine to bring your right arm over your ear if you like that variation. Breathe. Taking a full breath in, look down to the left, bend into that knee. Inhale, come up. And exhale, step to the front of your mat. Just take a moment to feel the body. And then sweeping the right leg to the right, take a bigger stride this time. And take the right foot out and the left foot in 45 degrees. We're going to come to 3 variations of Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. So you bend into the right knee. And the first variation, which is absolutely fine to stay at if you wanted to take the elbow to the knee. And just like with a triangle, we're pulling that left shoulder back, and from there, bring the arm over the ear. Variation 1. Variation 2 is to take your right hand to the floor, or if you've got a brick, that would come in handy. And the hand could be inside or outside the foot, but we're still spinning the chest. If you like a bind and you like to involve your shoulders, bring the right arm inside the thigh. Try and come right under the thighs. You sweep the right arm under. Sweep the left hand behind you. See if you can clasp your fingers and then look at the ceiling past your left shoulder. And all the while, you're easing the right knee out to the right. Left leg is strong. Breathe. Can you find joy in this posture? A sense of effortless effort rather than a strain. Take a breath in. Look down to the floor as you release the bind if you're bound. And inhale, bring yourself up. Let's take it to the left. Heel to instep. First variation, elbow to the knee. Right shoulder back, arm over. So you're really working that back leg. So you feel a line of energy from the outside of the right foot all the way up the right side to the fingertips. Maybe your left hand comes down to the floor. Maybe you bind. Taking your eyes up past that right shoulder as you draw it behind you, breathe. Keep spinning the chest. Take a full breath in. Exhale, release your bind if you're binding. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, step to the front of your mat. Taking a moment to feel the body. And inhale, lift. And exhale, let's fold now. Be very tender. Keep your knees bent and breathe into a flat back. And as you breathe out, step back to a downward dog. Or child's pose if you want. Finding a steadiness and a softness and ease here in your Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then looking in between your hands and stepping your right foot forwards, your left heel comes down. So we're coming into a Virabhadrasana one, a warrior one that you already did earlier in the practice, but we'll take a variation here. So from the ground, come up. Take your hands to the side of your ribs. And what I'd really like, so you've got really strong legs, but you're going to lift the ribs up and back to kind of encourage that lengthening in the side body to bring you into a little back bend. And then from there, slide the arms past your ears. And you're strong, resolute as a warrior. Keep lifting the ribs up and away from the hips. Take a full breath in and then breathe out. Bring your hands around the front foot. Bring yourself back to a downward dog. When you're ready, left foot comes forwards, right foot down. From the ground, come up. Take your hands to your ribs. This is more as a reminder. So you're lifting up the sides of the ribs. Then take the arms past your ears. And as you breathe here, really firmly grounded, you're lifting your ribs up and away from the hips. It'll help you extend. Beautiful. Take a full breath in. And then breathe out, find your downward dog. Any point you need to drop your knees. I'm not giving you a lot of opportunity to take child, but if you need to, there's always that option. Step your right foot forwards again. But this time align your feet heel to instep of the back foot. And windmill yourself up for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Checking your right knee is not falling into the middle. We've done a lot with the shoulders. See if you can release and relax the shoulders. And breathe here. Soft face. Take a full breath in. And then exhale, take your hands to your hips. And just step your back foot in a little. And we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana half moon without too much instruction. Let's just pop into it for fun. Right hand comes down, left leg lifts. Maybe you peel open that left hip if it's right for your lower back and pelvis. Maybe you float up the left arm. If your left leg is raised, push through the heel. Just feel the expansion of this pose, a joyful Ardha Chandrasana pose, wonderful against the wall as well. Take a full breath in and then exhale, gently come back the way you came. Bring yourself up. And we'll just take that to the other side without coming to downward dog. Take the left foot out, right foot in, heel to instep. Come into your Virabhadrasana 2, your warrior 2. And breathe. Where are you gripping and where are you able to find ease in this pose? Relax the shoulders, the jaw. Take a full breath in and then hands to your hips. Step the right foot in a bit. Take your left hand down in front of you as you pop the right leg up. Only peeling open that hip if that's right for you. Only lifting that right arm if that's right for you. Don't stop breathing. Expand from the navel outwards, navel radiation. Take a full breath in and then gently, delicately come back the way you came. And from here, taking your feet a little wider apart, heels out, toes in. Have a little bend at the knee. Take a breath in, really feel the brightness of your upper body now. And exhale from the heart, come forwards. First of all, halfway, maybe take your hands to the floor. What I'm really keen on now, because we've done a lot of poses standing, which will have some people irritated the lower back slightly. I'm really keen that you breathe space into the lower back now. Take your sitting bones apart. And maybe it's right for you to stay here in this version, or maybe take a breath in, find length, and then walk your hands slowly in between your feet. And it's nice to pour the weight into the front of the foot a little bit of each foot. As you work the legs and you lift your sitting bones apart and up towards the ceiling, this will draw you deeper down. Breathe open the lower back and the back of the pelvis, the sacrum. And the next breath in, walk your hands up and come halfway. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Well done. So you could take that variation of Prasarita Padottanasana again. Or if you're liking the shoulder work, roll your shoulders back. Interlace your hands behind you. Take a breath in to brighten the chest. And this time you come down, bringing your arms over. It's not going to be right for everybody. And it's really nice to bend into one knee. So I'm bending into the right knee and bringing my right armpit towards the knee as I look over the left shoulder. Just a bit of an extra stretch here. And then sweep to bend in the left knee, armpit to the knee, rolling that right shoulder back. A little bit of a stretch, lovely. And then release forwards in the middle. And breathe. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, release your hands to your lower back. Slide them down the back of your legs. And bring yourself into a downward dog. Or a child's pose. Only if you want to join me, we'll take a vinyasa, breathing into plank. Breathing out, come down to the mat your way. Find your little back bend. And find your downward dog. And then I'd like us all to drop the knees, take them as far apart as feels right for you, as we come down into Balasana, child's pose. Really make sure that your forehead can release into something, whether it's the mat or your hands or a block. And soften now. Soften into all your joints. Let everything go. Soften behind the eyes, the back of the throat. How do you feel? To what extent have you honoured your intention so far in this practice, your sankalpa? I know at least one of you is hanging back a little bit tonight, and I hope very much that you've honoured that in yourself and not felt a need to push harder. Wonderful. If you'd like to come up for Janu Shirshasana, so we come up with the left leg extended and the right hip open. So just like when you were doing a tree pose. Take the left leg as wide as it will go. So it's not straight out in front of you. And it's all right to sit on something. It's all right to bend that left knee. What you don't want is this. You don't want to slump. If your left leg is straight, pull your toes towards you. And we bring our torso around over the left leg. And inhale, lift up, find that length that we've been creating all the way through this practice. And then reach over the left leg. Maybe your hands come down. Maybe you hold onto the foot. And it's very common in Janu Shirshasana that one shoulder is higher than the other, probably your right shoulder now. So might you be able to release the right shoulder down? And breathe here. Every breath in, we're looking to lengthen the spine. And every breath out, we maybe come down a bit further, but not necessarily so. Beautiful. The next breath in, come back up. And take your Janu Shirshasana to the other side. With all the props that you need in order to be able to help the pelvis to tilt forwards. Bring your torso around over the right leg. And inhale, lift your arms. And exhale, reach forwards, maybe reaching the foot, maybe not. And here you really drop into the left shoulder if you can. Every breath in, you lengthen. And every breath out, you fold. Inhale, gently release, come back up. And release both legs. So I'd like to have a little go, possibly with a belt now, with a loop in the end. At that pose we've done standing, it's a little bit complicated, but we can help ourselves in the seated version with the belt a little bit more easily, maybe. Let's see how we get on. If you have any pain in the knee at all, I'd rather you came back to the pose we've just done with the right foot inside the left thigh. Otherwise, you're bringing your right foot. Do you know what we could do? Let's do rock the baby a little bit, cradle the baby, taking the foot into your ankle, into your elbow maybe, and your knee into the other elbow, and having a little bit of a cradle to open this right hip. Perfect. And from there, take the right foot into the top of the left thigh. And here you could take the belt, the loop of the belt around the left foot, if that's what you're going to do. Hold on to that left foot as you lift the right arm and sweep the right arm behind you. Maybe you can hold on to the loop in the belt, or maybe you hold on to your big toe. It's different every time. And then lift up the left arm. So we find that length, and then we come forwards into that forward fold. So this is, you could feel your heel pressing into the lower left abdomen here in a good way. Some of you will be able to hold on to the left foot, but you don't need to. So I'm trying to see what you've got. Right, Helen, I think it's okay. You've just done it the other way around. You're all right. You're hearing instructions weirdly because your right leg is long. It's my left leg that's long, but it doesn't matter. The arm of the long leg lifts and comes forwards. And breathe here. And the job here really, because it's quite a contortion, is to drop as much as you can into the hips, as much as you can into the shoulders, and to let go a bit. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Gently come up and out of the pose. Release the right leg. And we'll do rock the baby with the left leg. Really good for opening the hip. And bring the left foot right into the top of the right thigh, or inside the thigh if you have any pain in the knee at all. Take your loop around the foot if you're using the belt. And lift up the right arm and sweep it behind you to hold on to whatever is available to you. Then lift up the right arm, take a breath in. Find that length and then come forwards, reaching, reaching, reaching over that right leg. And breathe here. Taking a full breath in and a long breath out. And then gently bringing yourself up and out of the pose. So you have a choice now of sitting and breathing, or of joining me in a little vinyasa, coming forwards to your plank, choosing your way down to the mat, choosing a little back bend. Come back to your downward dog. And we'll meet with our feet forward. Some of you will jump through and we come to sitting. Take both legs out in front of you. Toes pulling towards you if your legs are straight. Again, remember you can sit on something. And we'll come into a straightforward Paschimottanasana, straightforward forward fold, sitting. So just like we've been doing, find that length. Inhale. Tuck your navel in towards the spine and up under the ribs as you come forwards. So remember when we were standing, I said, hold onto your toes, take the elbows out to the side. That may be what you can do here as well. Or some of you can take your hands over the feet, maybe even clasp your hands. Nice full breaths now. So after a strong standing sequence, we come to really open the body in a different way on the floor. Really increasing our flexibility. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. And then gently come up. And take your right knee towards you and place the foot over the left knee. Taking your left elbow around the knee, so you're really hugging the knee in towards the body. And reach up with the right arm. Inhale. And then you're going to rotate the spine, the belly, the chest towards the right. And take your right hand behind you. So you could stay with the left elbow hooked around the knee. You could take the upper arm and press it on the outside of the right knee. A little bit more leverage here. And then every breath in, you look for length. And every breath out, you find your room for movement as you twist towards the right, looking over the right shoulder. Breathe. Take a full breath in. And then breathe out, release. It's actually a half Lord of the Fishes pose, rather than Marichyasana C. Let's bring the left foot over the right knee. Right elbow around the knee, so you really hug the thigh into the body. Lift up the left arm and rotate your way over to the left. And stay here with the elbow, or maybe bring the top of the arm around the outside of the knee, more of a lever. And breathe. Take a full breath in. And then breathe out, release. And again, you have the option of sitting and breathing, or possibly joining me for a little vinyasa. Coming to your plank, choosing your way down to the mat, choosing your back bend. Downward dog. And we all meet feet forwards, and we come straight into a half Navasana. Make it light. Half boat. Breathe. Try not to hold your boat from the throat and the shoulders, but from the abdomen. Take a full breath in. And then breathe out, cross your legs, take your hands and fists, push your fists down, see if you can lift your bottom off the floor. And then release down. And take a second, either half Navasana or lengthen the legs and come to the full pose. And breathe. One more breath in. Cross your legs the other way, make hands with your fists, push yourself up. And we do one more, but you choose if you want the half or the full. I'm coming back to the half myself. And breathe. Take a full breath in. Cross your legs, fists, lift yourself up. And you have a choice. I don't want to take a vinyasa right now, but you could take an extra vinyasa. This will be the last one you'll be doing. Doesn't look like anybody wants to. Let's come to Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together. And draw the heels as close into the groin as possible. And take your hands behind you. And then press into your hands to lift your bottom off the floor and have a little bit of a wiggle here before you sit back down in front of your sitting bones. Take hold of your feet. If you need to sit up, please do, on a block or something. And we lift the spine up and out of the pelvis as we drop our knees towards the floor. Really releasing through the buttocks, the hips, with that full lift of the spine. Take a full breath in. And then release. Bring your knees in towards you. And we come to lying down. And take a moment just to notice how delicious it is to lie down. Soles of the feet on the floor. The back of the pelvis heavy. Belly dropping back towards the spine. The back of the ribs heavy and the shoulders and the head. We're going to take a bridge pose. And if that means for you moving bridge, very soothing, you lift your arms up as you lift your hips, peel the spine off and come down and keep moving. Some of you might like to stay up, interlace your hands underneath you in the way that you've already done several times today, so that your shoulder blades squeeze. You have a shelf of the upper arms. And you press into your feet and upper arms to lift the pelvis. Take your chin away from the chest and breathe open your Sadhu Bandha Sarvangasana, your bridge. Taking a full breath in. And then gently, whichever version you're in, release your spine down bone by bone. Pull your knees in towards you. Have a little massage over your lower back. And it may be that you've had enough now and you'd like to take a very gentle twist to each side, but I'd like to give those people who want an option of doing a brief shoulder stand, plow pose, and then fish, just to end this practice. So we'll do this very briefly. Shoulder stand for you is taking your legs up in the air. If you've got any trouble with your neck, please just do this version. Some of you might be able to push into your hands to lift yourself up into a half shoulder stand. Hands on the lower back, legs at an angle. So whichever version you're coming into today, I beg you not to move your head. Don't look at me whilst you're in the pose. Neck is vulnerable here. Some of you might begin to walk your hands up towards the shoulder blades as you lift your legs into the air. Pointing your toes. Please be very, very cautious in these poses. The neck is a very delicate part of the body. Some of you might want to drop your feet behind you into plow pose, halasana. And the most extreme forward fold you can take is Kanapidasana, where you bring your knees around your ears. So you're rolled up like a snail. Not going to be for everybody. I myself am moving back to shoulder stand, but you can take a few breaths to take any of these variations, or any of these different poses, I should say. When you're ready to come out, please come down bone by bone. You can stay up a bit longer if you like, but when you're ready to come out, please lift your head and bring it with you. And just drape yourself over your knees. And we'll come into Matsyasana, fish pose. So for this, I'd like you to lie back down again. If you would like to, bring the soles of your feet together and the knees point out to the side. Take your hands underneath your buttocks so you can ease the shoulder blades together again. And then from here, you're going to push into your elbows to come to the top of your head, lifting the chest. So you're really engaging all the muscles around the shoulder blades, opening the chest, opening the throat. Breathe it open. Take a full breath in and then very gently slide your head back. Release your arms. Bring your knees together and your knees in towards you. Have a little roll around. Doing whatever you need to do now to prepare for Shavasana. Might be something you feel I've left out, something you need, maybe a gentle twist. I just feel like holding my knees in towards me. Apanasana. Really notice how your breath is now. And at some point, making sure you're warm enough as you prepare for your relaxation. This has been a strong practice. Very much hope you've listened to your bodies very carefully, very attentively. And now we continue that listening, but in a deep relaxation as we let everything go. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing you need to know. Completely safe. If you are somebody who's set an intention, you might like to just recall that intention as you drop into this relaxation. Softening all the tissues of the face, like melted butter. And as you bring your attention to your ankle joints, could you imagine a pocket of air, like a small balloon in each joint, soft and spacious in the joint. And then same in the knee joint, small pocket of air or balloon in the knees. And the hips on each side. Allowing that softness and space to fill each hip joint. And your shoulders. And your elbows. And your wrists. And then all the little joints of your fingers and toes, imagine them each with their own little balloon of air. And the vertebrae of your neck. And the hinges of your jaws. And the whole head now, spacious and soft. And allowing yourself to drop into the whole body. And it may be that you choose to rest longer. That would be fantastic. Or if you'd like to move into the rest of your evening, begin to take a few slightly deeper breaths. Begin to bring gentle movements into the body of your choice, maybe a little stretch or roll around, whatever feels right now. At some point, maybe meeting me, your hands in front of your heart space, eyes closed. To take time to notice how your breath is. To notice how you feel in your body. And to notice how you're feeling emotionally, mentally, energetically. And then taking a full breath in towards the heart. And as you breathe out, bowing your head chin to your chest. Allowing the next breath in to lift your head gently, opening your eyes. Thank you very, very much. Namaste. Do feel free to